female, woman, right? We disagree on that.
Bro, this is very simple.
It's not simple at all.
It's very simple if you just tell me what is the definition of a woman.
Okay, but if by
what are the many definitions? Give me multiple, please. Give me whatever you think a woman is.
Okay. So my view of definition is that the definition of a term is more or less the usage of the term. Mm-hmm. So if you're asking for a definition, the general use of the term woman that's captured in dictionaries, I can just read you a dictionary definition. I can do that for you, right? If you're asking what trans people mean by these terms or what people 2,000 years ago meant by these terms, then we'll have to look into that. If you're asking how I use the term woman, right? It's not uniform across these scenarios in which I use the term. Because when I say, look, there's a woman over there across the street that can help you with the directions to your church, okay? I'm not using that term to refer to anything about genes. I'm talking about, oh, that person that has boobs and a vagina and high-pitched voice, you know, or blonde hair. I might be saying that. I might just be talking about a specific set or referring to a specific set of features that you can then identify that person quite easily when you are looking for directions, okay? Now, when I say woman in a different context, right, it may not encompass all those features. This is something called a family resemblance concept. There's a Wikipedia entry on it, right? And most ordinary objects are like this. This is why no one really spends a lot of time wasting their time trying to get a strict definition or joint necessary sufficient conditions for pots and pans, chairs and tables, right? We don't do this. It's a waste of time, right? Because it's a family resemblance concept, just like woman.
Great. So, Danny, is there a distinction between males and females? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. What might that distinction be?
And any of the features that are listed. One might have boobs, the other may not.
Okay, so if
a
female can have boobs and not have boobs, then that's not what distinguishes a female from a male, right?
Look,
because males can have, males can have boobs too, right?
Men do have breasts,
okay, so
but
it's not a distinguishing trait. Please tell us something else that you use to distinguish.
Okay, now you're being evasive.
I'm not being evasive, bro.
Let me explain how. Do you want to know why I think that, or do you just want to talk over me?
No, I don't
care why I think that? I'll show you why you're being evasive.
I just let you go. I just let you monologue for about 3 minutes.
Why didn't you interrupt me if you didn't understand me?
What do you mean? What did I interrupt? I understand exactly what you're saying, and I don't think so. Prove it. Conversation in the way that I'd like. Is that a problem, sir?
I want you to interrupt me when you stop understanding.
Is that a problem, sir?
What's a problem?
Is it a problem that I'm directing the conversation in the direction that I'd like?
Well, if you're not understanding.
I'm not pivoting from the conversation because I'm directly showing that even though you have all this philosophical fluff to try and pseudo-intellectually bolster your view, I'm showing you how when I ask you basic questions like, is there actually any distinctions between males and females, you can't produce one?
I'm telling you how that's an evasive question.
It's not an evasive question because I'm highlighting the principle of the debate, dude. Don't get rowdy, bro. Last time I kicked you because...
Yeah, you can kick me and run again if you want anytime.
I'm not running anywhere, bro. As long as you conduct yourself, you're welcome to stay.
Stay here and talk with me. Don't be a pussy.
Conduct yourself and you're welcome to stay as long as you want. Is that okay?
All right. So the reason why your question is dishonest,
Why?
Is that when you say distinction, what you really meant is an essential distinction. There can be distinctions between you and I, right, that are not quote unquote essential. Like I have long hair, you have short hair. That's a distinction, right? So what you really meant to ask, is there a feature that's only present in females that's not present in males? That's what you meant to ask, but you're too stupid to realize
Tell us what that feature is, bro. Tell us what it is.
Well, no, but that's precisely what I'm
Tell us what the fucking feature is, dude.
I'm an anti-essentialist. Have you not been listening?
No, there's no essential feature that distinguishes males from females, correct?
Right.
You fucking dolt, and you have the audacity to call me stupid and
most
try and
people
debate
take my position.
Dude, you're trying to say that
you're
I'm
a minority.
not understanding you,
right.
When I'm
just a
feeding
minority.
your position back to you in the simplest way that you can, and because it's not fluffed up with philosophical jargon that you can bamboozle the audience with, you don't want to engage. But when I ask you simple questions, brother, like, is there an essential property that distinguishes them?
That's not what you asked. I had to fix it.
Can you believe how fucking
That's not what you asked.
Insane.
You're being
and
dishonest.
moronic you sound
That's
to the
not the
world when
question
you
that you
say
had
there's
asked
no
me.
essential property or characteristic that distinguishes males from females.
Right. Why
you
would
live in delusion, bro? Why ought we listen to
Are
you?
you done?
With all
You're just
your
whining now. You're not making a point.
philosophy degrees and all your academic credentials, dude. You don't eat. You're so intellectually up your ass that
Oh my
you've
gosh, you're
lost
whining.
grip
Stop
to
crying.
reality, such that
At
you
this
cannot
point, it's
discern
appropriate to
between
call
a male
you
and
a
female, sir. That's crazy.
Right, you're still crying right now. It looks like it's appropriate to call you a child, right? So you didn't make any point, Sarah. Let me explain why your question was dumb. If you're asking an anti-essentialist about things like, I'm an anti-essentialist about most ordinary objects. I don't think there's any essential features of chairs, tables, women, any of this stuff, right? Most objects that we pick out, right, don't have essential features. In fact, none. I'm an anti-essentialist. Okay, so then to ask an anti-essentialist, what is the essential feature is a dumbass question.
Right.
And whining about,
I agree. That's why I believe I'm wasting my time, because that's like
well, then give me an argument against anti-essentialism. It's not like you have
that's
one.
like asking anti-realists about morals, whether morals exist. Of course,
No. That's not. It's actually not like that. Looks like
It's
you don't.
exact. Okay.
Nope.
Do anti-realists, do anti-moral realists believe that morals exist?
Yes, some do, some don't.
Oh, really? Amazing.
Yeah, you don't know anything.
Is there
You don't
any
know
objective? Is there any objective moral claims, facts, or values?
You changed it. Now you've noticed your
No,
mistake.
it's not right. No,
You just changed it. You recognized your mistake, right? There's a difference between morals and objective morals, dumbass.
Okay, anti-realism rejects both, right?
No. You don't know anything.
Okay,
You're
it rejects
ignorant.
objective morals, right?
That's what you changed.
Right, and
your
you reject
statements.
objective categories, right?
They don't reject morals. They reject objective
Okay,
morals.
perfect. Sorry, Danny, I misspoke.
Yeah, you messed up
forgive
because
me?
you don't know what
Can
you're
you
talking
forgive me,
about.
sir?
You're
Forgive
out
me.
of your
Wow,
depth,
please.
right? You're
Please.
out of your depth.
Please
You don't
forgive
know
me,
what you're
sir.
talking
Please
about.
forgive me. I misspoke. I meant to
You've
add
been misspeaking
objective
all this conversation.
Now that we've added objective and objectively,
But you see how you screwed up?
Anti-moral realists, bro, have some grace and let's continue.
You don't have any grace. You're just here whining.
Bro, your voice is cracking. You're so worked up. Relax.
Well, I'm worked up by your stupidity. I'm allergic to it.
Well, dude, go get an EpiPen or some shit. Well, I don't know what to tell you.
I don't have a
Off the
vaccine
line,
for the
bro.
kind of stupid you are.
You might go into
right?
anaphylactic shock, bro, if you continue. So you might want to hop off.
Right. So here's what I'm saying. You screwed up.
Bro,
Yeah, you screwed up.
Take a deep breath.
You screwed up.
This is
You
what
didn't take
happens when you
ownership
don't
of
have the
that.
grace of God and the mercy of God.
All right. Let me know when
You
you're
don't
done
know how to
crying
forgive
again.
others for simple blunders.
Let me know when you're crying. Are you done crying? Because I can show you what you're messed up.
No. Crying is when your voice cracks, sir. I'm okay.
Okay, well then, do you understand how you made a mistake? Right? You understand your mistake. Correct?
Hey, smart one. I already told you that I meant to say objective. Can we move on now, or are you going to continue to harp on it?
So you made a mistake.
Yeah, what's the problem, dude? I'm not
and then
allergic.
earlier,
I'm not so prideful that I can't admit when I misspeak, dude. I already
And
admitted
yet
it.
I'm the
Do
stupid
you want to
one.
continue, sir, or do you want to continue to harp
Let's
on the
continue.
past and make
All right.
commentary and have
So do you have an
metaphor?
argument? Do you have an argument against anti-essentialism about gender?
Dude, if there's no objective quality criteria trait that you can use to determine, right, a male from a female, just like from an anti-moral realist stance, if there's no objective moral truths or values, there would be no way of assessing or determining from an objective sense, mere preference, right, and i.e. subjective, there would be no objective way of evaluating moral claims because they don't fucking exist. So how can you objectively evaluate and discern between a male and a female if the differences don't fucking exist? You fucking bozo.
All right, can I answer? This is another mistake. Again, you're just like you misunderstood what anti-realism is.
30 more seconds. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'll be quick. Now listen up, little. Okay,
Please,
you're a
don't
student
spur.
here.
Use your time
it's
wisely,
free
sir.
education.
Use your time wisely,
Stop
please.
over-talking me. You said you give me 30 seconds. You're a liar now. Give me 30 seconds. Okay,
You're
I
using
can
your
demolish
time
you in 30
unwisely,
seconds.
dude. That's
Right.
15
All right.
seconds gone.
You're,
15.
yeah, if you're over-talking me, I can't talk. You said you give me 30 seconds. Anyways, anti-essentialists don't deny objective features. They deny essential objective features. Another mistake on your part.
Right. So subjectively, a woman, the criteria for a female could be whatever the fuck you want it to be,
That's
right?
not anti-essentialism.
Right?
You're still misunderstanding anti-essentialism.
Subjectively, the criteria for male and female can be whatever the fuck
That's
you want
not
it to be, right?
anti-essentialism. Understand the position.
If there's no objective criteria
Who is
to
saying there's
discern
no
them, then
objective?
look, dude. Okay, look. Let's take a deep breath. Danny, if there's no objective criteria to discern them because you're an anti-essentialist and these
No,
things don't
that's not
actually...
anti-essentialism. Anti-essentialists could accept that there are objective criteria for women and men. They deny essential objective criteria.
Okay, what's the distinction, sir?
Because it's objectively true that what distinguishes me and my wife is that she has black hair, I have brown hair. That's not an essential feature that distinguishes us. You understand so far, dumbass?
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
That's just distinction of attributes. I'm asking about
That's
the distinction
right?
between definitive traits, right? What is necessary to be a wife? What is necessary to be a wife, dude?
But objective and necessary.
You said what's necessary to be a wife is to be a woman. And this is where
Yes.
this whole conversation came from, right?
Yes.
If what's necessary to be a wife is a woman, I'm asking what the fuck is a woman? And then when we went down it, because it's not in reference to something biological or sexual, you say there's no objective essential traits, then essentially there's no essential traits, there's no objective delineation between...
I'm an anti-essentialist. So do you have an argument against anti-essentialism?
Right, Danny. So just answer this question. There's no objective delineation in essential traits between males and females, correct?
There's no objective or subjective essential traits to men and women if you're an anti-essentialist, which I am.
So when a TW claims that they are a W, what is it that they are claiming they are, sir?
Well, it depends, but often this is the way I interpret them. Okay.
It depends. It's subjective,
Right.
folks. It can mean whatever the fuck you want it to mean, folks.
Wait, no. There's a difference between the meaning of a term and then the features of a referent, right? Versus those features as being counting essential for it to be that thing or not, right? So you're confusing so many categories.
Yeah, dude, I understand. You can't,
but you're blundering on the language.
You cannot bamboozle me with your flowery language. So if there's no
at least I'm precise.
features,
when you're imprecise, you say dumb stuff like you.
Up, dude. If there is no essential features to be a man or a woman, then when you say that a TW is a W, you're saying that she is a woman based on something that is not objectively verifiable, right?
No.
It doesn't objectively exist.
No. You're conflating the meaning of a term versus the features of the referent. Yeah, go get lost, right? Bro.
You can watch yourself back in the YouTube clip. It always goes the same way with Danny.